Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Just a little bit of an extended news update that I want to talk about, mainly to do with the coming up maintenance as well as a few other things. But and I do want to talk a little bit about Soul, especially the announcement of Soul. And as it turns out, we got a little bit of extra news. So first, let's go through the news and then we'll get to talking about Soul. Alright, so November 12th will be the maintenance. It looks to be 3-hour maintenance. There is something very important to note about this, that it is not an app update. This is really quite disappointing at this point because, again, we're just not getting that super TMR update that we were promised. And far be it for Alim to... I mean, to be fair, Alim didn't really put a date on it, but they've been continually, promising it, and now it's just kind of not being mentioned. So I'm starting to be a little bit worried about this, also because we got a few other details. Last night or a couple nights ago, or whenever the hell it was, during the live stream, some of the stream had a little bit of problems, and some of the details were not talked about. But now some people have translated them, so we are going to talk about them. But yes, the new story event will belong to Soul himself, and besides the new units and the story event that's being added, it should be noted that there will be some bug fixes, and that's about it. Now, looking at this event, well, we have an accessory that is 30 magic and 10% MP, pretty good. A rod with 14 attack, 76 magic, and Blizzaga. He's okay, I guess. If you've been playing the game, neither of these accessories is probably... well, if you've been playing this game long enough, neither of these are particularly that interesting, but hey, you never know when you'll actually need it. Other than that, it's kind of shocking that this story event only lasts 8 days. I guess it's kind of nice because sometimes story events just don't really feel that good, and well, it's not like we have any enhancements this month anyway, so I guess what's the point of a story event, right? Yeah, that's about it. But yes, looking at the banner, we'll have 4 new units added to the game, and that is kind of cool. First of all, starting off with our 3-star, just to go over them again. Our 3-star is a TMR, 40% attack, poison, confuse, resist down, some damage attached. She looks like she will be a damage dealer. Not probably going to be anything special because, let's face it, 3-star. And I'm not super excited about the TMR either. The TMR just doesn't seem really that great. 40% attack for a trade-off. Again, great for new players. For experience, probably not so much. Next up is Eclipse. Now, Eclipse is materia. TMR reward will probably be pretty good. 40% extra Esper stats. That's just a lot of extra Esper stats, almost super TMR level. And yeah, just the, some units can still reach even trying to get their true dual wield or, regular stats, hit the cap. So 40% Esper stats does give a new alternative to get some extra stats on your character, so I think this is perfectly fine. TMR is, her kit kind of includes some breaks. Looks like she has some AoE attack defense break with Stomp, and a AoE magic spirit break with Charm, so might be good for new players for the arena. And Limit Burst is she full breaks both you and your enemy. So that's kind of different. If only it wasn't on a 4-star. If only it was on a more interesting unit. Or a more likely to be used unit. Ah, well. And Heliac, who is a Ice Mage. Her TMR, the Helmet, 40 defense, 52 magic. 5-star Golbez fans, rejoice. This is definitely for him. I guess for her too, but let's be honest, it's really for Swoblez, right? Anyway, Limit Burst hits twice, AoE ice damage, has some imperils. Basically, her entire kit is her? Hard to tell. Ice. It's ice. It's an ice kit. And last but not least, and obviously the most featured unit, is Soul. Now, Soul, I will admit that he is a really big unit, and a lot of people have been waiting for him. He is obviously a big feature in the story, but I want to explain why I just wasn't that excited about him. You have to understand how the live stream went. On the JP side, these live streams for story events are normally 30 minutes, and Alim this time stretched it out to a full hour, and a fully boring hour, I should say, too. And the other thing that was really weird is that in previous months, they've had a lead up to it. They start showing off the 3-star, and it's like, okay, interesting. And then you see the 4 stars, and you're like, oh, the 4-star TMRs. Those are a hint to what is about to come. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. And you're like guessing, and then you're like, oh, I know who it is this month. It's kind of fun, and there's that excitement. It just showed the picture for the story event, which honestly, at the moment when I saw it, it was like, is that Soul? Oh, okay, it's Soul. Like, it was a very weird announcement, and it was totally devoid of hype, and obviously not being a CG unit also was a little strange. But apparently some extra translated news came in by Secace, Seecace. Anyway, credit to them, and credit to NASA for posting this. Anyway, apparently Soul didn't get a CG. He's actually pretty grotesque. Hirano said that we haven't seen his true form yet. Okay, but we'll get to it at some point in December. Okay, I guess his skin is actually transparent so you can see his insides and bones. Either way, apparently he's too gross for CG. Which, honestly, I find that really annoying. I hate that a whole bunch. One, I'm never sure that's ever been alluded to in the story, and if it hasn't been, it's kind of weird that nobody's ever mentioned it. Again, I'm just not sure. Anyway, but the weird thing is, I guess this is where the line is drawn for CG units. Something that is grotesque will never get a CG, but sexual, abso-fucking-lutely. And if you think that's unfair, take a look at the beach unit CGs and come talk to me. Really, I don't mind. I mean, if it's really a rude comment, it'll just get deleted anyway. But yes, Soul. Let's talk about Soul. Soul's kit is kind of everything about Soul is pretty interesting on paper so far. The real question is how good he will stack up to Ellie and Swoblez. So it seems like he will have magic chaining capabilities. My big concern about Soul as a magic damage dealer, first of all, on the JP side right now, most friend units are physical and not magical. Unless he outdamages CG Lightning, CG Reagan, and CG Axstar, chances are a lot of people aren't going to use him that much. His chaining partner is apparently Trans-Terra, and Trans-Terra is starting to get up there in age, like really badly. So yeah, probably is fine, but there is something about him that just seems like it's not going to be that exciting. As opposed to Trans-Terra, you would probably, if you are going to bring him and use a friend unit, you'll probably just want a friend with this unit too. And yeah, this also makes me a big question mark about whether Soul's going to get another unit in the future that's going to be CG, and he might come in December. I never thought I was going to say this, but are we going to get bait sold, and then in December we're going to try to get sold a new Soul? I'm not putting it past Alim. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit more about his kit, but let's talk about his TMR first. TMR is a robe, 15 defense, 65 magic, 42 spirit, 10% MP. Pretty damn good. Super TMR is an accessory, 70 magic stat, 30% reduction to MP cost. Again, just a amazing super TMR for any mage in the future. Like, not even just anything, just any mage in the future will probably benefit greatly from this. Limit Burst is an AoE spirit ignoring damage, unlocks Quadcast for 2 turns, so that's pretty good. Skill set includes AoE Spirit ignoring magic nukes, AoE light damage plus Imperil, W casting, 7-star AoE dark damage and damage up on repeated use. 7-star self magic up, AoE fire light dark Imperil, and unlocks Quadcast for 1 turn. Now, the other thing we know about him is that Soul's Kit is focused on fire, dark, and light. With some neutral element as well, he will be able to imperil those 3 elements for 75%. His elemental chaining abilities are like Chaos Wave, we already talked about that. And this is the kind of thing. First of all, Dark and Fire means that he'll probably chain very well with Trans-Terra. Trans-Terra is pretty old, so I'm not sure how super excited I am just about that. Again, I think his best chaining partner will easily be himself. And 10-man trials don't exist, so it doesn't fucking matter, you guys. Just stop bringing it up. And global people, stop bringing it up too. You have a future of no 10-man trials unless something happens on either side, but likely not. Now, the other thing that's really kind of worrying about this is, will he be able to outdamage Ultima and Ellie? Ellie is a big one, but his elements really are a big concern for me. One, Light and Dark are used a lot lately and are not super great to use on a ton of enemies. I think he'll do fairly well probably against Lich, against Icebird, I guess? I'm not sure. Like, he doesn't seem to have that. And as for Blood Moon, I'm curious how well he will do. But Element, he has some good options. 75% doesn't seem quite enough, considering that a lot of enemies are super good. And Ellie just does the 100% Imperil already on her cooldown, so I'm really curious if Soul will be able to beat her. But right now, my bet's kind of no. Now, another thing to note about the banner is that we will be getting the Trust Moogle campaign. So, you know, if you have those 4-star tickets saved up, now's the time to use them, as you'll get a lot of extra Trust Mooglies. And both of the 4 stars on this banner are pretty damn solid, so yeah, it seems pretty good. If you do an 11 poll too, you will also get a guaranteed, I believe, what is it, 10%? It's fine. It's fine. I think it's good. Again, if you're looking for some extra Trust Moogles for characters that you've gotten recently from the 3rd anniversary tickets, this is a good way to get it. And going back to the actual banner news, it wouldn't be a story event without a step up. So here's your one-time step up. Basically 11k Lapis on, you know, step 1, step 3, and step 5. You will get up rates on the polls for CG Soul. No guarantees, 1.5, 2, and 5. So if you're interested in Soul, just go ahead and do it. This is your best chance. Best with rates up, or you could just UOC him. Either way, choice is up to you. So yes, now that I've gotten the Soul talk out of the way, we should talk about one other thing that was talking about. There is some heavy hinting that Bartz is coming up with a new FF Series boss feature that will be debuting with Neo Exdeath, supposedly scheduled for the end of this month. But apparently some of the people on the on the live stream didn't seem super positive about that. So yeah, Bartz may not be coming to the game right away. Looks like Final Fantasy V may be our next Mog King, however, maybe not. If the feature doesn't come, then maybe Bartz won't come. It's hard to tell. Either way, I'm still expecting for the raid at the end of the month to be Final Fantasy XIII with Fang and Vanille. That is still my bet. I guess we will find out. But yeah, where's the app update, Alim? I'm really, really looking forward to that app update, because I really, really want to get the Super TMR. You can keep the friendless thing for a while. That's fine. I really don't care about that. But the Super TMR update is something that would be super nice and appreciated on the JP side, that would breathe a lot of life into a ton of units. So please, make that happen. Anyway, that's all for now, and I'll see you next time. And yeah, guess we'll find out what happens next. Also, mic's a little loud. It's fine. See you then.